The year is 2007 and Kanye West is on a legendary 3-album run. But just a year later, he comes back with this. Fans were confused, critics had thought he lost it.
Why buy Kanye's album?
But this album would go on to change hip-hop production forever. Almost every modern song from hip-hop to pop, even to country, has some type of influence from this album. Today we're going to go over how Kanye West completely rewired hip-hop production by making a beat which covers all the major production techniques behind his influential album, 808s and Heartbreak. These melodies are nothing like what hip-hop was known for at the time. These melodies were cold, dark, sad, and emotional. Almost every single song in this project consists of a pad, synth, piano, or strings. Some examples of songs are Amazing and See You in My Nightmares.
It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. I'm cold.
Now for my melody, I grabbed these two synths from Analog Lab and I laid down this simple but emotional chord progression. I'm intentionally using Analog Lab because Analog Lab has a bunch of synths which are inspired by the 80s. The June 6 and the Jupe 8 are very great examples and likely were real synths that Kanye actually used on this album. Now the second synth I played, it sounded a bit too bright. Remember, we're going for cold and dark here. So I did a few things to it. First off, I turned down the sample rate. I dragged the sample into Edison, right clicked up here, set it to 2500 Hertz, press resample and press accept. Now we have this. It's still a bit too bright, so I just turned it down 1 octave. Now for the hook, we need something a bit brighter. If you listen to songs like Heartless or Amazing, you can hear these bright, stabby chords.
It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing.
So I just laid down this piano, as well as these strings, and laid down these melodies. One thing that defined this album is space. These melodies are intentionally left very empty just to really catch that emotional atmosphere. So I didn't lay down any crazy top line melodies or anything like that. Just a couple more sounds with a couple high notes in there. Altogether, this is going to be the melody. Emotional and dark melodies can be heard all across trap music nowadays, and that's a thanks to this album. Now we're going to talk about the heartbeat of the album, the 808s. When you hear the term 808, you're probably thinking of that big bassy sound that you hear on all the beats nowadays. Well, guess what? You're wrong. The term 808 actually refers to the Roland TR 808 drum machine, a drum machine which Kanye used for the production of this album. But what Kanye did is not like anything else. He took the kick sample, pitched it down, manipulated it. He turned it into a melodic instrument, not just a drum sound. And that sound is now what we call an 808. If you listen to songs like Heartless or Love Lockdown, you can hear these iconic 808s.
In the night, I hear him talk, the coldest story ever told. Loving you, way I wanted to, what I had to do, had to run.
For my beat, I just dragged over this 808, which is made from the TR-808, and I laid down a melody which copies the bass notes from the chords. The 808s were probably the most influential part of this entire project alongside those dark melodies, but this next part is probably one of the most unique parts of this album. Next, we have the drums. Of course, some of the drums from this project are coming from the TR-808 as well as the TR-909, and you can hear this type of drum on songs like Paranoid.
We be done for good, cause I can make it good, I can make it hood, I can make it come, I can make it go, I can make it high, I can make it fly, make it touch the sky, hey.
So for the hook of our beat, I just laid down the most basic pattern ever using the TR-808 drums. But if we go back to Paranoid, listen to how big the snare sounds.
We be done for good, cause I can make it good, I can make it hood, I can make it come, I can make it go.
That effect is what's known as a gated reverb. It was heavily used in the 80s, which, as we covered before, the 80s was a huge inspiration for Kanye West at the time. To recreate this effect in FL Studio, I just threw on a big amount of Fruity Reverb 2. Then I went to Fruity Limiter, I went to the Noise Gate preset, and then I adjusted the threshold accordingly, and now we have this. Now, the TR-808 drums obviously have such a huge influence on the music we listen to today, but I also have to cover the lesser influential but also pretty cool taiko drums, which you can hear throughout this project. My favorite example of these drums are on Coldest Winter. Some sources say these drums were actually played live for the project. Some say that these were just samples from the 808 or 909. For my beat, I just grabbed a few taiko drums from Splice and laid down a super simple rhythm. Finally, if you listen to Say You Will, you can hear this tonal snare in the background.
Why would she make calls out the blue?
I wanted to recreate that in my beat, so I grabbed this tonal snare and pitched it to whatever the bass note was playing in the chords. On the last chord, I pitched up the last snare up an octave. And I know it's not an 808 song, but that octave jump really reminds me of Runaway. Finally, we have the structure of the beat. Structure on this album was very important, and I think a lot of people are going to overlook this section, but bear with me. A huge part of these beats were simplicity. It just starts with that dark chord progression, and then the 808s, and then eventually the taiko drums come in, some more of the chord layers come in, and then all of the drums come in for the hook. So with all that being said, here's the final beat. Overall, 808s is an extremely influential album with a bunch of production techniques which we still use today, and that's why the album's still important. We use these production techniques over 10 years later. Let me know what artist or album you want to see me cover next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.